Now, this is a surprise to literally none of you, but I love video games. To me, I think they're the peak form of media. No shade towards books and movies, I love those too, but seriously, being able to control a character on these wild adventures in crazy environments, it gives you a sense of immersion that you can't really pick up anywhere else. You know, except for actually going outside and touching grass, but why would you do that when you could do this? Now, don't get me wrong, I love my action games, I love my adventure games and platformers, but sometimes that stuff can get a bit too overstimulating. And that, my friends, is what cozy games are for. Whether it's by decorating houses, fishing, popping bubbles, farming, what? They really give you that sense of escapism that you can't really get in the real world, you know, with all this crap going on. They really are therapeutic to people all over the world, and they really put us at a nice, calm peace of mind. Like I mentioned before, cozy games come in many different genres, and across those genres, there are many different series of them. One of my favorite cozy game series has to be Animal Crossing, and you know, that's not really an unpopular opinion. Animal Crossing is a life sim made by Nintendo, where you are the only human being surrounded in a town full of animals. You can befriend them, make money, go fishing, decorate, catch bugs, dig fossils, play with other people, and more. It's such a fun series, and it has such a nice and cool, adorable community. Well, at least half of the time. I cannot tell you the amount of secondhand embarrassment I have witnessed from some players of this, but majority of the time it's not really all that bad. In fact, I've made some of my greatest friends just from having a common interest in this game, and if they're watching the video, they know exactly who they are. But anyways, Animal Crossing is a game that can be played in so many different ways, and of course that means there are many different kinds of players. In this video, I'm gonna go over the many different types of players I've witnessed and seen throughout my years of playing through the games. I'm probably gonna call a lot of you out, so be ready. To be honest, I'm probably making fun of myself too a lot, so, you know, it's all good. Anyway, let's begin. First off, we got the Young Picassos. These people are straight up gods at island design. And I'm not talking about the average good looking island. These people are straight up making a whole new world, and I ain't talking about Aladdin. These people will make the most exquisite S-tier island builds that look so good, I'm not even convinced we're playing the same game. I'm talking about the kinds of people who remade fucking IKEA, Bikini Bottom, and a whole Super Mario Mystery Maze game? This makes me look at my diner and wonder where I went wrong. I really will never understand how they could put so much time into this. And to top it all off, you got people making animations from the freaking map graphics! These people are straight up some madmen, and I just have to applaud them. Next up, we got the Chronic Resetters, and I've witnessed this a lot, but before I continue, I want to clarify I'm not trying to offend y'all. In fact, I respect y'all for this, cause I personally could not. I do not have the guts to reset my game after all the progress I've made. And by progress, I mean my unfinished encyclopedia and the fact that I've had a 3-star island since launch, but I've been collecting them DIY recipes. This ain't about me. These players have sent their villagers and islands to the Shadow Realm over and over. They don't like the island layout like they thought they did? Reset. They don't like their starting villagers? Reset. They don't like their initial fruit? Reset. And the cycle keeps going over and over. But they finally get their dream island. Then 1 week later, they get bored of it. And you know what happens next? You thought I was gonna play that clip again. Not only that, but then I check my Nook phone and I gotta see the remnants of your previous identities and islands clogging up my contact list. You know how in Pokemon they have those little regional variants? Y'all are turning my shit into a Pokedex. I got Lisa in her Olympian form, her Dewdropian form, and her Acornian form.
Lisa, relax!
Next up, we got the Time Travelers. With the power of our system settings, we literally can become Chronos. Animal Crossing is a game that utilizes real-world time, which means different things can happen depending on what time of the day it is, or what day in the year it is. Usually, time travelers change the date or time forward on their console to experience different things, such as seasonal events earlier, catch certain bugs that they couldn't catch during the daytime, progress through the game faster, or make more of that cash. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that was me, especially back in New Leaf. I used to get so sick and tired of the retail store closing because I was trying to get more bells in my pocket. Every time I would play online, my friends would get on me about how far my town was in the future. I was straight up living in 2069 during 2013. Now, why was my time so far ahead? Maybe we don't ask those kinds of questions. Sometimes I just didn't want to wait a whole day just to have something built. Time traveling can honestly bring your island a lot of positives, but depending on what game in the series you're playing, it can kinda lead to negatives sometimes. Maybe your favorite villager can just straight up move away, or your weeds in the island will just spread faster than the measles. Also, time traveling is a bit of a controversial topic when it comes to Animal Crossing, which brings us to our next type of Animal Crossing player. The Fun Police, which is probably the most annoying genre of Animal Crossing player. These living embodiments of the nerd emoji will go out of the way to tell you you're playing the game wrong. These are specific purists who will shame or criticize you for doing anything remotely different from the basic way of play. These people will call you out for time traveling like it's cheating or something, but it's like, it's a life sim, who gives a fuck? It's not like this is a competitive game where other players are less benefited or anything. Some people are busy and have places to be throughout the day and they can only play during certain hours. I mean bro, look at Daisy May's schedule. This man Tortimer got church in the morning. He is not getting turnips! These players will hit you with their actually at any possible opportunity. You dearest Nintendo looking asses, just go to your island and sit down! Next up, we got the bell dealers. These players will have unspeakable amounts of bells in their bank account and will most likely spoil the ever-living hell out of you. You see that fancy looking table, you just want 500 bells from them, they'll drop 99k like it's nothing. Either these people are always on the grind, they sold Raymond at launch, or they took advantage of that duplication glitch. I forget about them royal crowns. Either way, it's good to have one of these people in your contacts. They pull through when you need them to. Now, one of the more infamous ones, the embodiments of the aesthetic. I will never do that again. This player might have the stereotypical wishlist that may or may not contain the following animals: Raymond, Sherb, Dom, Marshall, Marina, Julian, etc. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and shame people for liking those villagers because I have Marina myself, and she is a beautiful being that needs to be protected at all costs. But there is a specific genre of player who will bully and berate the villagers they believe are ugly, including my beautiful baby Coco, who is not ugly for your information. They will constantly tweet on Twitter about how landlords are evil, and then proceed to portray this role of horrendous behavior by hitting their villagers with nets. And I don't mean to stereotype, but they most likely pick this I-type on their villager. I'm just playing, y'all. It's a joke, I promise. Not everyone who likes the popular villagers are like this. I'm only kidding, but there is a vocal minority you should be careful about. Now, we have the daily players. These are the super casual players that don't really play for that long in the day, but they just log on like once or twice just to get the usual tasks out of the way. They'll talk to the neighbors, buy a thing or two, dig a fossil, catch some animals, and then call it a day. These people don't really take in too much of the game at one time, and probably get the satisfaction of not ever really being bored of the game ever. Now, the Demolishers. The moment these people unlock the Island Designer tool in the Nook phone, they will go out of their way to destroy any instance of cliff or river on their island. Now the island is flat as hell, and I'm not gonna lie, I did this. I low-key have regrets. Oh well. Next up, we got the Fashionistas. These people are so goated at making custom designs, especially for clothing. It always amazes me the amount of talent these people have, and to this day I still see people's creativity with these shirts, hats, coats, and dresses. Now, the designer has an issue with the pixel art looking all weird, but despite that, people still make heat. Now, one that is fairly less common these days, but were very popular near launch, the Animal Crossing Black Market. These motherfuckers were making bank selling these characters. Having Raymond in March 2020 was the equivalent of Scrooge McDuck diving into that pool of gold coins. These people had them amiibo cards of the popular characters and went crazy, getting tons of bells and that cash on eBay. They were making money off the desperate, dude. And I'm not gonna lie, it don't matter how bad I want a character, you will not catch me paying the price of my firstborn. Now we have the Completionist. This player plays Animal Crossing to its full potential. They got the 5-star island, every clothing item registered, they for sure finished that museum encyclopedia, and they got all the DIY recipes. Props to these people, but to be honest, I gave up on that. To this day, Blather still makes me crash out with this fossil dialogue. Now, hustlers come in many different categories, but we're gonna start off with the classic hustler. The only thing on these people's minds are bells. They will fish and catch bugs for literal hours. They are determined to get as many sharks and beetles as possible to sell as well. And I know they go crazy on the turnip market. These people never run out of money and never waste it on things like majority of us do. Next up, we got the IRL hustlers. And they don't hustle for bells. They hustle for real money. It's kind of wild. There are some people who take on the role as design consultants where they visit your island for $50 an hour just to give you decoration advice. That's low-key crazy. Look, you can do whatever you want with your money, but me personally, I'm not paying somebody to play my game for me. And finally, we got the freaky hustlers. This is going to be the last one we discuss today. By freaky hustler, I mean freaky hustler. Now, we all know about the custom designs feature and how you could scan QR codes to add designs to your inventory slot. Normally, it's a casual, cool design made by other players. Though there are some websites where you can generate design QR codes from whatever picture you want. Normally, people do this with maybe their pets or a meme to be funny. But one day, I was casually scrolling through Twitter and found out on social media that some OnlyFans models were using this website to generate QR codes of their spicy photos, and they would sell these QR codes to people for $5 each. Now, I don't want anybody to get the idea that I hate sex workers. I don't. I respect their hustle, but I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of crazy. Custom designs have a 64 by 64 pixel grid size. Dog, these photos are gonna be shrunk and blurry as Look, you cannot catch me ever being this down bad, paying money to get a QR code of some crusty ass compressed photo of somebody's bell bags. There's a time and place for everything, but when I'm getting back to playing Animal Crossing New Horizons on my Nintendo Switch system, that's the last thing I'm thinking about. I don't know, I think some people are doing it for the meme, but I think it's pretty insane to do that in a game like this. Between this, people drawing Yif in the Splatoon Plaza, and these freaky asses on Mario Party with these fucking stickers, I would not be surprised if Nintendo stripped any form of communication on the next console. Never mind. But seriously, get y'all acts together, man. I'm trying to see Miiverse on the Switch too, alright? And with that, I'm gonna end the video. We went over a lot of different kinds of Animal Crossing players, but there's probably some that I missed, so if there's one that you have in your mind that I didn't really cover, feel free to type it in the comments below, and if I ever make a part 2, I'll probably include it in there. If you made it this far, make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to check out more content from me. And of course, I want to thank my channel members for making this video possible. If you want to become a channel member, you can for just $1 a month. You can get emotes, you can get badges, and you can get some early access. I also made a funny video where I talked about the different kinds of Mario Party players, so if that sounds like any interest to you, feel free to check it out. I'll put a link in the outro and the description. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.